Does Taylor Swift deserve to even call herself a Christian? We answer that today and so much more in this video. What's up? Welcome to a new one. Talking about religious crazies again. When I posted a while back on Facebook asking for video ideas and suggestions, someone mentioned Taylor Swift. Apparently a lot of evangelicals and just religious people in general are coming after her for a million different things. A lot of them think she's a witch. So many, in fact, that I feel that I need to break this video down into part 1 and part 2. This is part 1 where we're going to discuss her Christianity. Part 2 is about if she is in fact a witch. I'm not kidding. It's funny because my husband's actually been trying to get me to do a video on Taylor Swift for a long time, and I've been like, no. And what finally tipped it for me was he sent me this video the other day, and it was so stupid. Let's just watch it. Look how Taylor Swift shakes her head when Ice Spice says she thanks God.
In this category, I want to thank my label, 10K in Capital, for always supporting me. And of course, God. Without God, none of this would be possible. Shout out the Bronx. Thank you guys, I love you so much.
So like, everyone is freaking out about this video. I've seen this clip making its round on YouTube Shorts, on Instagram Reels, on TikTok. Like, everyone's like, oh my God, look how she shook her head. Overanalyze much. The way I took it was she was like, yeah, you're right. Without God, it wouldn't be possible. But who am I to say? Let's dive deeper and see, is Taylor Swift a Christian?
We've not got involved with politics or religion.
Yeah, but this is on the home front.
Bob Hope and
First
Dave
of all,
Crosby.
these aren't your dad's celebrities and these aren't your dad's Republicans.
Imagine if we came to you and said, hey, we've got this idea that we could halve the number of people that come to you next to us.
So this clip is very viral. This is the one that all the religious people are crying about right now. Because God forbid someone be a Christian and not a like raging Republican. Apparently people who are accepting of the LGBTQ plus community can also be religious. And that's just a no-go. That's a no-go for a lot of Christians out there. A lot of Christian commentators on YouTube, and we'll get into that. Oh my God, that I don't believe in. It's real bad. But this clip, it gets sort of political too, and that's sort of what she's going through. And I think it's her dad and manager here, I could be wrong, I don't know. These two older men are telling her that she shouldn't speak out because she's going to cut her audience in half, essentially, by being partisan.
And the other thing, just from a security
So you
standpoint,
think
Taylor Swift comes out against Trump.
I don't care if they write that. I'm sad that I didn't 2 years ago, but I can't change that. I'm saying right now that this is something that I know is right, and you guys, I need to be on the right side of history, and if he doesn't win, then at least I tried.
So I saw some comments, and I'm not going to go through and screenshot every crazy comment. I would literally be here all day. But people were like, how about being on the right side of eternity? Okay, so clearly she's not a fan of Trump. She's also not a fan of Marsha Blackburn in Tennessee. And this is what she is commenting on in this next clip.
It really is a big deal to me. She votes against fair pay for women. She votes against the reauthorization of the Violence Against Women Act, which is just basically protecting us from domestic abuse and stalking. She thinks that if you're a gay couple, or even if you look like a gay couple, you should be allowed to be kicked out of a restaurant. It's really basic human rights, and it's right and wrong at this point. And I can't see another commercial and see her disguising these policies behind the words Tennessee Christian values. Those aren't Tennessee Christian values. I live in Tennessee. I am Christian. That's not what we stand for.
So that is the moment where Taylor Swift says, I am a Christian, while simultaneously saying things that fundamentalists don't agree with. My frustrating thing here, and this is something that like all these commentators don't seem to acknowledge, is that there really are different like levels of being a Christian. Like Christians themselves can't even all agree on what it means to be a Christian, which is why there's so many friggin' different denominations out there. Like, make up your damn minds. Now, clearly I am coming at this. I'm a former Catholic. I am now not religious. So you have an atheist sitting here commenting about Christian values and in a sense defending Christians, because I also believe that not every Christian is a fundamentalist. And it is unfair, like Taylor was saying, to label Christian values as something that just everyone who is a follower of Jesus, that everyone has to think that way. That's just not how it works. Hence, like I said, the many denominations. Like the Bible is something that people do cherry pick. You know, and like I said, as an atheist sitting over here, sometimes I wish that people wouldn't and just sort of like reject the concept in and of itself. But that is asking too much for people, I think, sometimes. And if they do find comfort in it, if they find happiness in it, who am I to judge? I don't judge that. I really don't. My problem is when it does cross that line into politics, which clearly it does. And not everybody's heart is going to be in that place to be completely politically fundamentalist. And they do justify a lot of their views and beliefs in just parts of the Bible. And they do take the parts that they like. And I'm glad that they do, because even the fundamentalists pick and choose. I don't see them stoning people out in the streets. So they're cherry picking too. It's a very old book. Guys, it's a very, very old book. Let people who are Christians live their life the way they want to live it. If they are gay and believe in Jesus, that's a Christian. And you can't tell me that's not a Christian. But guess who likes to do that? A lot of YouTube fundamentalists, one of which goes by the name Fight for Truth. Because he knows the truth.
He is trying to protect the innocence of children and the moral atmosphere of his establishment. You see, Jesus himself says that anyone who causes little children to stumble into sin would be better off with a millstone around their neck being drowned in the depths of the sea. Matthew 18:6. But something tells me Taylor Swift hasn't read that verse in quite some time.
The way he talks really gets under my skin. Something tells me Taylor Swift hasn't read the verse in quite some time. Bob, it feels like a news anchor. Am I losing my mind? Back to you, Fight for Truth.
Taylor is presenting herself as a virtuous and passionate woman, one who can't stand to see Christian values being trampled upon.
No, let me correct you there. I don't think she's saying that she doesn't want Christian values to be trampled upon. I think she's saying don't apply your beliefs to all Christians. She's asking you not to be the one that generalizes. As we've established, per all the different denominations, not every Christian lives their life in the same way or holds the same beliefs. To me, the definition of a Christian is somebody who believes in Jesus Christ. They believe in, God, they're whatever. They love Jesus. That is a Christian. They believe that that's a real situation. And there you go. The details of that are going to vary from person to person, from denomination to denomination, and that's just how it is. And sometimes that person can change the way they feel many times throughout their life.
But let's see how that applies to her views on other topics.
All right, I need to stop. I will stop.
For example, what does Taylor Swift, the courageous defender of biblical values that she is, think about the LGBT movement?
Oh, God, we're about to get into it. We're going to get into it. She's not a defender of Christian values. She's a defender of people who are Christians that aren't bigots. She's saying not every Christian, not every follower of Christ, not every person who loves them some Jesus hates gay people or votes against them or wants to take away their rights. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody who loves Jesus is a raging Republican.
Rights are being stripped from basically everyone who isn't a straight, white, cisgender male.
God forbid somebody who loves Jesus defends LGBTQ rights or women's rights. There are a lot of things that are rights recently that have been stripped away. It's a very dangerous and scary time. That's why I think voting now is more important than anybody could really believe. I hope people go out and vote because these things need to change. It's very scary, the direction we're going. Being trans is still very much criminalized. Actually, right now, of course, in Florida, is one of the most frightening anti-trans initiatives yet. They say if you misrepresent your gender understood as sex on a driver's license, that constitutes fraud. That could subject the offender to criminal and civil penalties, including cancellation, suspension, or revocation of his or her driver's license. Holy crap, that's scary. So if you live in Florida and you're trans, if you have not yet updated your driver's license, you won't be able to. And if you already have, you're guilty of fraud and you could have your license taken away, among other criminal and civil penalties. And just to put this into context, it's very, very, very scary because this is outing people who might not want to come out at that time. If you look like a woman and you have a giant M on your driver's license, imagine what that could do to somebody. I mean, you can't get a job, you can't fly, you can't vote without a valid ID. It's no one's business what is in your pants, truly. And it's no one's business what the doctor declared you as at birth. Thanks for that, Florida. Way to go. So yeah, when Taylor says, what was the quote he used? Rights are being stripped from basically everyone who isn't straight, white, cisgender male. I mean, just look around. She's not wrong. But this guy gets even more angry, so let's continue.
Her music video for a song entitled, quote, "You Need to Calm Down." The video intentionally paints anti-LGBT advocates as backwards, ignorant hillbillies who are just a bunch of bigots.
I mean, again, Find the lie.
She herself seems to have forgotten what Christian values are about marriage, family, and sexuality. For instance, Romans 1 says that homosexuality is a sin.
It's a sin. Yeah, okay, the Bible, in my personal opinion, says a lot of horrible things. A lot of people say it's up to interpretation. They might say that quote in particular, I've seen people argue that it's more about being like overly sexual, having unrestrained lust, and not necessarily talking about your sexual orientation. I really don't care. I really don't care. Honestly, people can misinterpret the Bible. They can reinterpret the Bible. They can cherry pick the Bible. I don't care. Personally, if it were up to me, I would say throw the whole thing out. It's got so much crap in it. You don't want to, just why? I understand the benefits that religion can bring certain people. It gives people hope. You know, it's something that a lot of people were raised with. It's hard to break away from communities. I get it, okay? But there is so much negativity in this Bible. I would rather the argument not be about like who's a good enough Christian and that you don't have to be Christian to be good enough. And I feel like this should go without saying, but a lot of people who are Christians do terrible, terrible things. It doesn't make you a good person. And within Christianity, it's a spectrum. Some people are very fundamentalist and some people are very liberal and open-minded.
I'm absolutely terrified that this is where we are. That after so many decades of people fighting for women's rights to their own bodies, today's decision has stripped us of that, end quote. So again, Taylor Swift, the protector of Christendom, seems to have forgotten what the Bible teaches about killing people. This is pretty basic Sunday school stuff. Exodus 20 verse 13, quote, "You shall not murder."
Okay, Mr. Hypocrite. So you're saying killing is wrong, right? That the Bible says killing is wrong, but like literally a few breaths ago, you were passionately reading this verse.
Would be better off with a millstone around their neck, being drowned in the depths of the sea. Matthew 18:6.
And that's just scraping the surface of all the really horrendous, genocidal, murderous things you find in the Bible. I would not, for 1 second, look at the Bible as a book that is a pro-life book. It's just not. But go ahead and cherry pick. Go ahead.
So what's my point here? Well, my point is that Taylor Swift can be seen literally crying about her Christian values. That's how passionate and sincere she claims to be. She wants you to think of her as a real Christian, full of love towards everyone, full of biblical values.
I'm sure she has biblical values. I'm sure probably me as an atheist, I have some values that one could say are also in the Bible. Therefore, I guess maybe I have some biblical values. Shit. Regardless, if she believes in Jesus, she's a real Christian. We are not going to no true Scotsman fallacy your way out of this one. The only real Christians are the ones that think and talk and act and believe exactly as I do. Sir, you are not the gatekeeper to Christianity.
She herself is promoting a demonic, regressive agenda that the devil himself would be proud of.
Oh, here we go. Now we're getting into it. Now we're getting into, not only is she not a good enough Christian, she is straight up demonic.
And the fact that she calls herself a Christian shows how incredibly deluded she really is.
She really is. Okay. I truly cannot stand listening to this guy for much longer. I am very, very over it. So let's move on to someone almost, well, arguably maybe she is more annoying. We'll see. I have not seen her before. This is Tracy. But she is a peach.
I'm here to tell you that if you are a Christian and you have been a Swiftie your whole life or however long, if that song, Karma, was not the straw that broke the camel's back, it should be.
Taylor says Karma is a cat purring in my lap because he loves me. I'm a crazy cat lady, so I'm inclined to just love this song. So, sorry.
Okay, this song is totally demonic and it has nothing to do, we shouldn't be entertaining any of the messaging of that song into our spirits.
That image that she showed was like such a brief part of that music video, but all the Christians are like hopping on it because it looks scary to them. Too much Halloween mask for me.
I know some of you are thinking, you can't say that all of her music is demonic and all of this stuff because Taylor is a Christian. Well, not everybody who says that they're a Christian is actually a Christian.
Oh, yes, again, no true Scotsman. Only people who are exactly like me and do as I say are the real Christians. Everybody else, not good enough.
God only knows whether or not she's truly going to heaven or not, but we can look at her life and say, don't go down the path that she's going. Don't follow her. If you are a Christian and you want to go to heaven, you want to do the things that please Jesus.
Is that Jesus? Is this man standing in the sunset? That's Jesus? Such a random, like, why would you pick that picture? I'm sorry. Also, I'm gonna just skip ahead in her video a little bit to show what a freaking hypocrite she is. I'm so sick of the hypocrisy in all these Christians. It's so easy, and so many of them do it multiple times within a single video. I pointed it out with the last guy, time to point it out with her. She just said, I don't know if Taylor's getting into heaven, but if you want to be a good Christian and get to heaven, you should do XYZ thing.
If you are a Christian and you want to go to heaven, you want to do the things that please Jesus.
If you're a Christian, you want to go to heaven. I thought Christianity was just believing in Jesus, that he died on the cross and therefore he absorbed all the sins of the world and you're never going to be good enough, so might as well just believe in Jesus. He will cleanse you of that, and no basically act of goodwill, no good acts can get you into heaven. No bad acts will send you to hell because all you need is Jesus. Right, Tracy?
In Christianity, you don't get what you deserve. Jesus got what you deserve. And so to twist that message, even just that slightest bit, is catastrophic to what people believe about their lives. They think if I can just be good and I can keep my side of the street clean, like Taylor says, then I can walk comfortably and everybody else gets what they deserve. And that's not how it works. That's not why you go to heaven. We all have fallen short of the glory of God.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Hypocrite much? What was it that she just said earlier?
If you are a Christian and you want to go to heaven, you want to do the things that please Jesus.
Make up your damn mind.
I believe by looking at the fruit of Taylor's life, we can see that she clearly doesn't love God.
How could you ever say that about somebody? What a judgmental. Ugh. I am not even religious, and this makes my blood boil for all the Christians out there who are not like extreme fundamentalists. Like, y'all probably get a lot of hate and have people like this woman come up in your life and tell you that, you know what, you don't even love God. And because she knows what's in your heart, right? She knows what you're thinking.
Even if she loves God or she thinks that she's a Christian, everything that she's doing is a compromise to the messaging that Jesus presents. It's a contaminated stream, it's a contaminated fountain, and if you are going and receiving from that fountain, you're drinking that sewage, and it's going to pollute your life.
I feel like watching this video of her talking is drinking sewage. Actually, I think maybe I would rather drink sewage than continue watching her, but for the purposes of this video, I shall continue. So she's basically saying listening to Taylor Swift music is drinking sewage because Taylor Swift is not a good enough Christian. She lives her life in a way that is not the right way, according to her, according to God that she thinks is God, whatever. It's not good enough. So if you listen to Taylor's music, it's drinking contaminated sewage because Taylor is not a pure enough vessel.
You may not make the connection of, oh, this is happening in my life, this terrible thing, or I'm irritable all the time, or I have strife in my life, or I'm just angry with my spouse all the time or my kids all the time. You may not connect it to the fact that you're listening to contaminated music.
Hold on, sorry. I'm going to make a phone call real quick to my therapist. Hi, I know that I've been seeing you because, I was like depressed and I felt irritable. But I've realized now that I don't need your help. I definitely don't need any SSRIs or anything like that. I'm just going to stop listening to Taylor Swift. Yeah, turns out, I should have told you I was listening to her. Yeah, that would have been the obvious thing.
Karma is my boyfriend. Karma is a god. She's singing about the demon who is influencing her. She has no idea. I guarantee she has. Maybe she does. I'm not going to say that she doesn't, because maybe she does know.
What is this girl's problem? She is all over the place. And that deep breath that she took is something out of hell right there. That's scary. That's going to give me nightmares.
But to the average person doesn't know. But she's singing about this, and here's the thing, you guys. Karma is the name of a demon that I have cast out of somebody.
All right. Get ready for the most ridiculous stream of consciousness that this woman is having that is absolutely not something that happened. You can tell by the way she's like looking around that she's just making this up on the fly. She should be embarrassed.
Karma actually, so she's not telling a lie. When she says karma is a god, she's not kidding. It's a lower G God, which is a demon, and I've cast that demon out of somebody before. And I didn't just make it up, okay?
I swear, you guys, I didn't make it up. I am not currently making this up right now. I totally swear this, like, for real happened, guys. Seriously, for reals.
Praying over this woman, I was talking with the Lord, and he actually told me the name of this demon. I had no idea that it was the name of a demon, okay? But it was, and it was a witchcraft spirit that this person, this lady, she had received some witchcraft items, some new age items like crystals and different things from a friend.
From a friend's uncle's sister's cat. And then this rainbow appeared and a leprechaun came out and it had a crystal. And the crystal was blue. You get where I'm going with this? It feels like I'm listening to a very small child just making up a story. And then she got it from a friend, but she didn't use it, I swear. And this is all something that really happened.
And different things from a friend. And she didn't want to hurt her friend by rejecting the items. And so she kept them in her house. She wasn't using them. She wasn't doing any witchcraft. So all these people who say that intention matters. You know, I do yoga, but I don't worship any false gods, or I pray to Jesus while I'm doing yoga. And I'm sorry, this video is not about yoga, and I'll do another video on that at another time.
How did we get what? Okay, so yoga is evil now too. Okay. By all means, if you guys do yoga, make sure you're praying to Jesus while you do it.
Which sin causes torment in your life. It will cause the depression. It will cause the sickness in your body. It will cause all of these things. All of it is rooted in sin.
So everybody who has depression earned that through sin, right? Sickness too, she said. If you've got something going on in your life, you have health struggles, it's because of sin. You basically deserve it. This is such a toxic mentality because it's telling people who are struggling with things in their life, like what about kids who get cancer? Like, I hate to even bring that up, but like, if you're gonna say that all disease basically is rooted in sin, you're saying that people are almost like deserving of what happens to them, which gives me like this awful feeling in the pit of my stomach, because that is just such a toxic thing to make people feel about themselves.
You cannot be a Taylor Swift fan anymore, because the message that she is sending is not a godly message.
This is so bizarre. And she's going to relate because God spoke to her and told her she couldn't listen to Linkin Park. I kid you not.
You cannot be a Taylor Swift fan anymore. And I know that hurts. God actually did this to me. He actually had me stop listening to my favorite artist, which was Linkin Park.
So bizarre. This woman is so out there and so bizarre. I'm surprised I have not seen her before, because I'm sure if I dive into her channel, I will find all sorts of gold as far as content goes. But I think her main point in all of this is that Taylor Swift has a demon. That was the title of her video. The demon's name is karma, and that's why we can't listen to her music. And if you stop, then you won't have depression anymore. Okay, you're welcome.
From a demon named Karma, you cannot love her art. You cannot be a fan of the art.
And as soon as you drop Taylor Swift, guys, like I said, your health will improve, mental, physical, you will feel better. Because again, all that's rooted in sin, right, Tracy?
They're trapped in the sins that cause the sickness and depression and disease and anxiety, all the things that they're struggling with, the addictions that come from sin. They're engaged in all of the sins that are killing them. We can't reach the world and allow the Holy Spirit to rescue them through us from the things that are killing them if we are contaminated with the same things that are killing them, and it's in us.
Brilliantly said. This is so stupid. And like I said, it's just such toxic behavior to let people think that real mental health problems, physical health, is something that can be controlled with something as silly as the music you listen to. Like, Girl, come on. And if you think that's crazy, just wait until we get into the part of her video where she talks about Taylor Swift being a witch and also Beyonce and God knows who else. God knows. A lot of people think Taylor Swift is a witch, practicing witchcraft, casting spells on her audience, and there was just so much on that I'm making it its own separate video. So stay tuned for part 2. If you guys like this video, please like it. It helps a lot in the algorithm. Leave a comment. Let me know. Does Taylor Swift even deserve to call herself a Christian, or is she dragging everybody down with her into the fiery pits of hell? Let me know in the comments. It's bad karma if you don't like, and do it swiftly. Man, subscribe to my channel if you have not already, because this is fun, right? We're all having fun here. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.